So good evening, everybody. I'm going to, and again, if you've got any questions as I'm going through this, don't hesitate to ask. I don't mind stopping and answering questions as we go on. So I'm going to share my screen and open up the PowerPoint. Okay. Can everybody see that? I'm just trying to open it up more. Okay, so this this workshop is a little bit different than any other ones I've done. I'm not teaching you how to do one particular thing step by step. I realized after doing that one share workshop and then watching all the videos that I watched from YouTube on furniture, that there's a basic way of doing it, and then you just make the little bit of changes that you want as we go along. So anyways, let's get started. So those three chairs that are sitting there are chairs that I've made. The one in the middle is from a video that I'll talk about. And the other two are from a site that I really like that I will also talk about. Okay. So kits versus scratch built. There's a lot of pros for kits, and we love them because there's control over the scale, for one thing. The person who's developed that kit has done all the work for us to make sure that it fits into the scale that they've said it was. They usually provide most of the material, and hopefully it comes with instructions that make sense to you. Some instructions aren't that good, but others are excellent. A negative for kits is sometimes the price and the cost of shipping, especially today's cost of shipping, and availability. Sometimes we can't get what we need when we want it. And if we can get it, we can't get it in time. So speaking for myself, I really like scratch building because I like that feeling at the end of accomplishment and all the kind of problem solving that you've got to do as you go along building things. You have more control over the style, the shape, and the colors that you're using. It fits into your time frame, and it fits into your budget a little bit better. So where to start? Okay, scale is really, whoops, sorry guys, I just rolled my mouse. Okay, scale is the most important thing. One of the first item that I made when I was starting this workshop off of YouTube, I never even thought about the scale. I just assumed it was 1/12. Well, when I went through all that trouble of getting it built, realized that it was a lot larger than 1/12. I would say it's probably close to Barbie scale. And that was me just never questioning it. So anything that you do make from scratch, whether it's from a tutorial, a video, if the scale isn't declared, then you have to measure to see what scale you're going to be in. So scales like 1/12 scale is 1 inch equals 1 foot. And when you're doing it, everything has to fall within that realm. And so I use conversion charts. And this one here, you can't see it very well, but it was a conversion chart that I downloaded off of BJ Miniatures. And if anybody wants it, I'll send it out to you. And it has 1/4, 1/24, and 1/12. I don't have any conversion chart. I kind of collect them, and I look through the ones I have, and I don't have anything that works in the micro scales. That's a scale that I've never even thought of trying.
Marg, you want to make sure people are aware that it's 1/4, 1/24, and 1/12, because that slide, you've just got a typo on there. You've got 1/114. You've got a 1/114th.
Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. Yeah. I will correct that right now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it's 1/4. Thanks, Joanne. I missed that one. 1/24 and 1/12. That's on
Marg, Marg, while we're correcting, to make it consistent, it should be 148.
Oh, okay. There, that fits me better. Thank you. Okay, everybody's happy. I am too. Okay, so yeah, and it is a really good chart. It goes from, I think it starts at like 3/16 of an inch and it goes all the way down to 12. So it's a good one to have. So the next thing that has to be considered when you're building furniture, especially, that there are standards, means that most chairs are the same, the seat is the same height from the ground. Most armrests are going to be the same height from the ground. The depth of the seat is, there's a standard size for that. And when we sit on furniture that it doesn't meet that standard, sometimes we don't really know what's wrong, but it feels wrong to us. So these standards have been in place for years and years and years. These pages here, a lifetime ago, I took interior design at Mount Royal College in Calgary. And this textbook was one I had to buy for my class. And I'm really surprised at the fact that I'm still using it. But these are 2 pages from there where they show drawings of, this was way before the internet, by the way. They show drawings of different styles of furniture and they give the measurements of that particular style. Over here are more modern looking pieces of furniture, or modern to the 1960s, 70s when I was in college. But it's a really good book. And if anybody is ever questioning or wondering what size is a jukebox, give me a call because it'll be in this book. This book is about 3 inches thick. I use it mostly as a weight to put on things that I'm gluing.
What's the name of the book?
It's called The Architectural Graphic Standards, and mine is.
Oh, it's mentioned there. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah, no, I didn't mention it, but it is in the text on this slide. So over the last couple of years, when I want to do something, the first place I go is YouTube. I enjoy spending lots of time looking at videos, just checking what's on there, and I'm always shocked at what I can find. So I'm going to give you a couple of YouTube people that I have found really good. Bentley House Miniature, she's got tons of videos, and her stuff is really quite good. This is the chair that I made off of her miniature armchair. And I've got the patterns that she gave as a freebie on her tutorial that I can share with the club if they want them. But it was a nice, easy chair to build. I quite enjoyed it. I kind of wonder whether the back is too high, but I'm not sure. It looks okay. So the other one is Square to Spare, and this is the sofa I made. It was the first one I did, and I like this style, but like I said, I never even thought to question the scale until I had it finished. I made quite a few errors on it. First of all, I used material that was way too soft and stretchy. So I couldn't get the real tight corners that she had on her video. And that's what you learn as you build things yourself, is some things work and other things don't. I liked her system of putting the legs on. It was quite slick. I would like to make this again, but in the right scale. And this chair, I was hoping I was going to get it made for the workshop, and I didn't. But I really want to make this chair. I find it really nice, and I want to try making it with her and see if it'll turn out as good as hers looks.
Sorry, Mark, I just want to ask, are there links to all these different
I've just given the name and because the link, you go into YouTube and you search for, well, I just got a message saying my input out there at all.
Okay.
Mark, if you want,
Yeah,
we can talk tomorrow, and I can add clickable links to the video that goes to we put on our website. So if people want them, they can just click through.
links.
I think I can. I don't know for sure, but no,
Um,
I can't. Not in a video. No, sorry.
No,
Forget
Tina,
it.
I was thinking what you can do is you can put the links in directly in the PDF. If the PDF
I
is
wasn't
gonna,
planning to send this out as a PDF, but I guess we could. Margaret, what do you think?
that would be the easiest way to put the links, to add the links maybe if you want. Anyways, it would be lovely if you
I
could.
wasn't planning on sending it. No. For just a couple of, Teresa, for just a couple of links, I'm not going to turn this into a PDF because it'll be a video on our website that people can go and look.
It's
And
easy
I
to
find
search.
I find these just by going into the search engine and putting in Square to Spare, and it brings up all their videos, and I find the one that I
Okay.
want that way. Okay. So the other one, again, these were ones that I wanted to make, and they're very similar to a chair that Sunny made that I'll be showing you. They're round, and they're so darn cute that I wanted to make them as well. I'm not sure of the scale. So this is one that I would measure the seats, the distance from the floor, the top of the seat, the distance from the floor, and whatever that is in the material that she's using will give me an indication of whether or not she's in 1/12 scale. And if she isn't, then we just adjust the measurements that she's got there. And another website that I use a lot is Spellbound Miniatures. This woman is mostly, she has a Cricut machine. And so most of her SVG files are for the Cricut, but she's also got some really good techniques for building things. And in this particular one, she's got a technique for cabriolets that you can build out of paper. Okay, but my most favorite thing of all is 1-inch minis by Chris Compass. How many of you have been on her site?
Yep,
I have.
Anyway,
definitely.
it really is a site that all miniaturists should, in my opinion anyway, should go to, especially people that are just starting out in miniatures. She has tons and tons of tutorials, and she's got very clear instructions. I'm always surprised at what I can find on her site. And she's now, I'm getting a little bit nervous because she's not doing her blog anymore. She's now writing a column for Dollhouse World, and I keep getting kind of antsy that she might decide to shut the blog site down and then we'd lose all those tutorials. But right now she's getting rid of all her magazines, selling them, but only in the States, which is too bad. Okay, so the next step to doing furniture from scratch is you have to find something. So you can either go through the YouTube and find like that chair that I want to make, find something like that and think that it would fit into a scene that you want to put it in. Or you can go onto Google or Amazon, are the two that I use all the time. With Google, I just go into Google Images and I would put in upholstered armchair images and then just look at the tons and tons of images they have. And a lot of times you will get images that have measurements on them already, but Amazon is a really good place to go to get furniture that they're selling, because quite often they have all the measurements there. So this picture here has the outside measurements, but down here below, it gives you the seat width, the depth, and the height. And the height of this chair is 19.25 inches, which is a little bit higher than the standard, which the standard for seat heights is between 17.5 and 18.5 inches. But I don't know whether that's because of it's really padded, and then when you sit down in it, you sink enough that you're down to the regular level. But when you're building it, that's entirely up to you. You can stay within the regular standard size, or you could go ahead and make it the 19¼ inches that they have down here in their description of it. But this chair reminds me a little bit of the one that I would like to make off of that tutorial. It reminds me a little bit of the one that Sunny made, because the back is curved and it's got tufting on it. And I think that would be a really neat chair to make. Okay, now that you have an idea, we need a pattern. And this is probably the hardest thing. A lot of the YouTube video people will give free patterns of the piece of furniture that they're making. And what I generally do is I download the patterns and just hang on to them. So I've got a bunch of basic patterns that I can send out to the club for anybody that wants them. I can send them out through email, and then you would have to print them. But if you don't have a printer, I can print them off and send them to you through regular mail. You just have to let me know. Okay. So material is the next consideration. So the biggest reason why I wanted to do the workshop this way is that not all of us have access to machines like the Cricut or laser cutters like Tina has. But that shouldn't stop us from being able to build something that we want. So everything, even though I've got a Cricut, everything that I've built for this workshop, I've done with an X-Acto knife and ruler, just the standard things that we all have in our toolbox. So X-Acto knife, scissors, glue. So paper is what we're going to use for this. And paper comes in many forms. So it's cardboard, craft board, which is cereal boxes, cardstock, Bristol board, illustration board. Sunny's chairs that she made are made entirely out of cardboard, corrugated cardboard, and they look really nice. So it doesn't matter what budget you're on at all. You can use anything to do with paper to make nice furniture. There's little things you need to do, like if you have in Chris Compass's tutorial on the chair, she uses foam core, but you can take cardboard, and as long as you get the same thickness of the foam core, then you can glue those pieces of cardboard together and they're just as strong. Once you get the upholstery on it, you can't tell what the inside of that chair is made from. So the materials that I basically used in this chair that I made from Chris Compass's site was foam core, which I bought at the dollar store. Plastic packing, it's that kind of really hard, I had some piece around here. It's like foam, but you can roll it and you find things that you get in the mail rolled in it for not the bubble wrap, but it's I don't know how to describe it outside of just calling it plastic packing. You could roll it, you can fold it. And if you're anything like me, you hang on to pieces like that. So in my stash, I had some plastic packing. Quilt batting. I've got quilt batting from Michael's. You can get it off of Amazon, fabric store, and of course, fabric of your choice. I recommend that you use something that is not thin like silk, but more like a good quality cotton, because it folds well, but it doesn't form a lot of bulk that you would get from heavier fabric. And instead of the 1/2-inch dowel that Chris Compass uses in her chair arm construction, I found a technique off of one of these videos that I was telling you about, using 3/16 wooden dowel, and that can be cut with an X-Acto knife. Whereas the heavier doweling, to cut it down to the size of the arms that you want, you almost need to have a power tool of some kind. And I picked up a felt roll. I've never seen it before, but it's really, really thin felt, kind of on the hard side, but it worked perfectly for the arms. I used bead cording that I bought at Michael's for piping, and super glue.
Okay, but the felt roll that you use around the arms, is that that's underneath the fabric still, right? It's just so that you don't see.
Yeah,
It's to make the dowel thicker, maybe.
yeah, I'll show you how to
Okay.
use it. Because what I'm going to do, rather than go through the chair I made off of 1-inch Minis tutorial, because the tutorial is all there for everyone to access, rather than go through again the same steps that she did, I did the chair, and I've only picked out the items that I've changed, and we'll talk about those. So this is the finished chair that I made from her website. So on her website, she uses 3/16 inch foam core, which is exactly the same size as the foam core from the dollar store. And she used illustration board. Illustration board, unless you've actually got some, I found I had to buy a sheet of it from Michael's when I did the first workshop. So I still had some of that left over. But you could even use craft board, cereal board, anything that's got that's strong enough to put on either side. And really, I'm not sure why it's necessary, except she just finishes her furniture off so well. And so I think that's part of it. It gives a nice finish on the top and bottom of this stack of styrofoam. So the styrofoam, all 4 pieces are glued together. And then one of these is the top and bottom of the stack. So you end up with this square. So here are the 4 layers of styrofoam, or a foam core, plus a layer of illustration board on both top and bottom. This chair, as you can see by the picture, has a skirt on it. But if you didn't want a skirt and you wanted to put legs on it, then you just leave off the bottom 2 layers of foam core, and then you've got enough space there to put legs on it. So she glued the front and back, which were also made out of illustration board, to this square. And now we get to the arms. So like I said, in her instructions, she had 1/2-inch dowel arms cut to the proper length between these 2 armrests. And you would have to have some sort of a power saw. When I did the kits for the other workshop, I used Tina's equipment and cut them all for you. But this way, I went to the dollar store and I got 3/16 inch wooden dowels that I could cut with an X-Acto knife, or you could do it with a miter saw or one of those cutters if you've got one, but they cut quite easily. This is the roll of felt, and it's quite thin. You can see it here. I just grabbed it when I saw it at the dollar store. I thought I'd never seen it before, but I was trying to figure out something I could use besides this plastic packing, which is on this roll, and it worked out really well. So
I thought the dowel had to be a lot thicker because the armrest is so much thicker.
No, I know. And that's what I mean. I was really pleased to find this technique, because you can use anything that doesn't bend, which the dowel doesn't. You could use a skewer, anything that doesn't bend. You just cut it to length and then you just wrap it. I glued it on one end when I first started rolling it, and rolled it tightly and I kept measuring the end of the roll until I had 1/2 inch. And that's when I would stop rolling it.
So if you wanted a really overstuffed look, you just keep rolling right up to like an inch or
Yeah.
so, or
Yeah.
whatever. Or if you wanted narrow arms, you could just do 1 or 2 wraps and it would be 3/16 of an inch.
That's right. That's right. No, it gives you a lot of flexibility in the style that you're doing. And some chairs have a real overhang, like the arms come way out over the edge of the chair. And all you would do is just move that big roll over to where you want it to be and then glue it in place. No, it was neat. So this is what it looks like when they're glued on. So the blue one is the blue felt, and then the white one is the plastic packing material. And in her instructions, you cut little pieces of styrofoam or foam core and put it underneath to support the arms, but you glue it in between. So these are glued, and that's the shape of your chair. That's basically the shape of the chair before you start upholstering it. And I think it's kind of neat. So what have I got here? Okay, so after that part, I just followed along exactly the way she explained to do the chair. So I did everything the way she was doing it until I got down to the piping. And in the first workshop that I did and kit, one of the techniques for piping that I found that I tried was using thin wire. And it worked okay in a way, but if the wire got kinked, it was really difficult to unkink it and make it smooth. And so I wasn't really 100% happy with it. But the way that Chris Compass talked about it, by using thicker thread, the thread would get soft with the glue and I couldn't feel it. Maybe younger hands can feel it, but I couldn't feel it when I was trying to make the piping. So I looked through my stash and I found some beading cord that was still fairly thin, but it was hard. And I had bought it a long time ago at Michael's. And so I used that and I really liked the beading cord. So this is the card that it came on. And I think if any of you browse around Michael's, you probably recognize what it looks like.
It kind of looks like almost like the type that you would use to make little baskets, right?
Well, it's thinner than that,
Okay.
Teresa. Well, maybe not, depends on what scale of basket you're making, but it's for beading.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's got a little bit of, like, you can see it laying here.
Mhm.
It's got a little bit of not thickness, just it doesn't bend as easy.
Stiffness, yeah.
Yeah. So you take a piece of fabric, the fabric that you've upholstered your chair in, and you turn it so that the wrong side of the fabric is facing you, and you put your roll of glue. And then you lay your cord on top of the glue. And then up at this first photo, I use tweezers to get it started, but you start folding the fabric over the cord. And as you're doing that, you use your fingernail to press the cord right up tight into the fold. And then use your fingernail to make a crease along it. And sometimes if you've got lots of glue, in my case anyway, some of the glue was kind of seeping out through the fabric and I just wiped it off. It didn't seem to make it didn't discolor my fabric at all. But I just slowly worked my way along the line of glue and the cord until I had it completely covered. And then several times I went along and reinforced that hard line with my nail to make sure that the cord was pushed really firmly into the fabric fold. And then
What type of glue did you?
I just used tacky. I use tacky for most things. And then I just cut it off and put it aside so it could dry. And once it was really dry, I took some very sharp, small scissors and cut as close to the cord as I possibly could. Once it's dry, it doesn't seem to, like if you've got, as you can see from the other one, I don't stint on the glue in there. but I would caution people to test it on their fabric. You may have fabric that the glue may discolor. And in that case, I would be a little bit more cautious with the amount of glue that you use on it.
Usually it dries clear though, but I was surprised to see that you just did one fold, but that's, I guess, all it takes.
No, that's all it takes. You want piping to be quite thin. You don't want the bulk of a second fold.
Yeah. Okay.
So you want it to be fairly thin. So this is the cord, the piping, once I've got it cut down, and I just trim this edge, and there's the chair with all the piping on it. This chair over here was one I made, and the piping on it, I used black bunca that I had stretched and then glued on and pulled it as I glued it on so that it wouldn't curl up on me. Sunny at one of our workshops showed everybody how to take embroidery cotton and twist it. And I wish I'd paid more attention to that workshop. Because
You can actually, Mark, you can use the beaters. I think that's what Sonny showed us.
Yeah, I
The
know.
beaters for whipping cream, if you have one of those. And
Yeah,
you
I
just
know.
put the, yeah, and then anyways, you just make
Yeah,
it.
one site I was on, they were talking about it, and they use some sort of a craft kind of beater. And I thought, oh, that would look good, but I couldn't find it. It was quite an old video. But no, the twisted embroidery, what I like about the idea of using embroidery cotton is you could, in this case, with this plain colored thing, it would be easy to match, get really close to the color of the fabric. But when you've got multiple colors, you can either pick out a color that you could do it like the black, or you could maybe, I'm not sure what it would look like, but I would try picking out all the colors that were in there and twisting those all together so that you had a cord that brought in all the colors. But anyways, that's the thing on piping. So using different material, these are the chairs that Sunny made, and every single one of them are made out of nothing but cardboard. And I think
Except for
that's,
the legs, right?
no, the legs are cardboard too.
Are you serious? Oh my God, it
Yes,
doesn't
I'm
look like it.
serious.
Good
Sunny,
job,
do you want to
Sunny.
talk? Do you want to talk to these? Because I just love this little chair with the butterfly on it.
You know, don't you love that chair I have?
Yeah.
So,
Beautiful.
you know, you'll get that basic pattern. It's just so simple. And I had a beautiful birthday card that I just loved that I didn't want to throw away. And that's what I cut out for the back on that
Oh,
one.
is that where you got that? That is such a nice idea.
And the seat was foam core, and yeah, so it looked like the one on the left. I just didn't put the back. I just cut the cardboard a little different, right?
Oh, I see. Well, sure, because here this is a little, yeah, I haven't noticed that it is a little bit different. So I think the idea of using foam core for the seat is a good one because you've got your thickness there.
Yes, and you know, yeah, it works. It cuts pretty easy. You have to practice. I do a lot of that, so I can cut that pretty well, but it takes a bit of practice. Yeah, but don't you love the cardboard legs? Maybe you'll see those. It's just a strip of cardboard.
Yeah.
One whole piece.
Well,
Sonny, do you have the pattern for the brown chair?
Oh yes, don't
For the
worry.
legs? Oh, thank you.
We have it all. No problem.
okay,
Perfect,
so
thank
Sunny, you sent the patterns to me. Do you want me to add those to any patterns that people want, or do you want to take care of that yourself?
You're more than happy to send those, or I'm happy to have you send them. If you're sending out stuff, why not, right?
Okay, then you had said at one time that one of the chairs you made, the scale wasn't quite right, so you adapted it. Or is the
Right.
scale okay with all these patterns?
With the
I
ones
thought-
I recently gave you, those are all the chairs
Oh,
I
good.
made. The rest that I gave you, just throw them away because they
Okay.
weren't correct.
Okay, no, I think these chairs are wonderful. And so there's that curved back. Once you understand how to work that curved back, you can do it in all kinds of furniture. And the other thing, a sofa is nothing more than a chair with either 2 seats or 3 seats, and you just extend the back. So you could make a really nice curved sofa with this pattern as well. and just extend it out. I just love the idea of doing things the way you want to. Now, where am I here? Okay. So that's chairs. Now, Tina has done some 3D printed cabriole legs, which I think are going to be great to have access to. But I found on one of the videos, the Spellbound videos, how to make them out of paper and super glue. And so that's what I'm going to talk about here. If you're not going to put a skirt on your chairs or your sofas, you're going to need legs of some kind. And on this chair, these white legs underneath here are wooden flower pots that I just painted white. You can use beads. There's all different kinds of things that you can use, and the chairs look and the legs look quite good. But once in a while you want a fancy or a standard furniture leg to do. And if you're working with paper, I didn't know, I couldn't figure out how you could do that. So anyways, on her site, and I wish I would stop doing that. Okay, on her site, she has files for SVG for the Cricut. And one of her patterns that you can get has these cabriole legs. But of course, with a Cricut, you can print off as many as you want. But what I did is I took the leg, and this gray stuff is tracing paper. Underneath, I have 140-pound cardstock. I've got a stylus and a very sharp X-Acto knife. So I traced the leg out and I made a pattern from it. And when you're tracing things, to trace that pattern over and over again, you end up with distortions the more you trace it. So if you can make a pattern, you don't get as many distortions, but a pattern means that the piece that you're cutting from it is going to be a tiny, tiny bit larger, because you can't get your pencil around that as small as the pattern piece. So it's going to be a little bit different, but I think you've got more control this way. And then as I'm talking about this and thinking about it when I was doing the PowerPoint, I thought, I wonder if my printer would have handled 140-pound cardstock, because I could have printed it on there and cut it out instead of doing it the way I did, but I don't know. And this is the way I did it. So once you've got your pieces all cut out, so there's what I started with, there's my pattern, and there's the 5 pieces cut out from the 140-pound cardstock. You put them all together and you glue them. And so you get this very squared off looking leg, all glued, one solid piece, and you have to let it dry completely. And I just used tacky glue. Then you take it and you soak it with super glue, liquid super glue. And I used a clamp to hold it because I didn't want it all over my fingers. And you don't need to use a lot, but the open edge where you've got this edge here where you've got the layers of paper, you have to make sure that that gets a fair amount of the glue, and all over, front and back, up and down, everything. And then you really let that dry. And it's amazing how strong that leg becomes. Once it's completely dry, it is really quite rough with the super glue. So there's a lot of sanding. I used the sanding block and I sanded both sides until they were nice and smooth, and sanded the edges until they were smooth. Once you've got that all smoothed down, then you take whatever you've got. It can be a sanding stick, it can be a file, whatever works. And you sand all the edges at about a 45-degree angle. So what you're doing is you're rounding off that leg. And one of the products that she talked about on her video that I haven't been able to get out to find is Gorilla Glue has a brushable super glue. It actually has a little brush in the bottle, and she brushed it on the edge that has the lines of the all the different layers of paper. And she said it completely smoothed it out so you don't see those lines anymore. but I didn't find that I had any trouble. I sanded it all down. So this is where you can't see that closely, but it's nice and curved, all rounded off. Then I painted it. And then this is the chair that I would like to have had cabriole legs on instead of these sticks that the video gave. So I just quickly tacked it on front of the chairs just to show what it would have looked like with different legs on it. And I like it much better. So that's just a little add-on to show you that you can do things with paper and super glue. You could make modern legs, all different kinds of things, and put the super glue on it to harden it, and then just sand it and shape it the way you want. You could do handles, legs, all kinds of things with it. So that's the end of the workshop. To this quarter scalers, I apologize because I don't have a quarter scale prototype, but I did find a YouTube and it's called Tiny House, and she works in 1/48th and in 1/44th scale. But there's this particular video here, DIY how to make furniture for a miniature house in 1/48th. She's got a really cute little wingback chair that she makes out of cardboard and material. So that's the end of the PowerPoint. Does anybody have any questions at all? I'm going to close this down, and no, I won't, in case somebody wants to look back on something. Anything at all? Nothing?
Marg, I think you don't even have to turn it into a PDF. I personally would like to even have it just like that, like the PowerPoint, only because when there are some places where there's some text that's a little bit too small to see in full scale, if you don't mind, but you know, you don't have to do anything else to it. I have PowerPoint on my computer.
Okay.
It'll
And
be on it'll be on the website in the form of a video, so you'll get our discussion as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I know, but just to have the paper part of it so I can look up the information instead of having to watch the video to get all the information. Do you know what I mean? So only if it's not a problem. It's just the file that you have with the PowerPoint. Not everybody wants it maybe, but I could use that if you don't mind.
I'm not sure what you're asking, Teresa. Are you asking us to do a PDF?
No, no. The presentation you have there, it's a PowerPoint file. If you could just send that in an email.
Well, no, that will be available on our website.
Oh, okay. I
everybody.
thought only the video was going to be available. Sorry, guys.
No. This whole thing will be on our website.
The PowerPoint. Okay, but that's useful because then you can just go from slide to slide. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay.
And when any of you are looking at this video or PowerPoint, if there's some things that you can't see, and I'm thinking more to do with, like, I will send out this conversion chart if anybody wants it. This screen or slide that has the pictures out of my architectural standards book was just to show you what's in there. But if you wanted a copy of any of those pages, I certainly don't mind copying them and sending them to you as well.
Yeah, thank you. Do you want an email from each of us, or do you just?
No, an email would be good because then I know who wants it.
Okay, thank you.
Because I'm not sure, at first I thought that I'd just send it blanket out to everybody, but I'm not sure who's interested in it. And so anybody that's out of town or anybody that doesn't have a printer to be able to print it off an email, then just let me know and I can make a hard copy and put it in an envelope.
That's very nice of you. I have a printer, but somebody.
I'm going to assume that the club would pay for any postage. I don't know.
Yeah. Staple also prints, right? If somebody's, I don't know.
Yeah, but it costs you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last time I used Staples, it was about 11 cents a page.
Yeah.
To print at Staples.
Great workshop, Mark. Thanks so much.
Yeah, very great
Okay.
workshop. Thank you so much.
I'm going to stop
Really
That was
sharing.
wonderful. Thank
Well
you.
presented.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Marge.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
awesome.
I didn't,
Thank you.
yeah, when Tina and I first talked about this, I couldn't see the point of redoing Do you want to take the spotlight off of me, Tina?
Nope, you're spotlighted for the rest of the night now. You can't just leave the spotlight like that.
We like having you on the spotlight.
Okay. I just couldn't see the point of doing another workshop on the same thing. And I always feel that I'd rather have a lot of knowledge that I can do things on my own rather than be stuck
I love being able to customize too. Like I
in
love
one
it.
thing.
Yeah.
But not everybody's the same. I love kits. I don't misunderstand that, because I love a kit because all the work's done. But there's still a real satisfaction from taking a bunch of foam core and paper and glue, and you come out with something that looks like that chair, because I really like that chair. The thing is, I don't work in 1/12 scale, so I've got all these chairs that,
Next garage sale, Marg.
yep, that's right.
What about Tina? Are you going to sell fabric at the show and sale again?
Nope,
No.
nope, I'm out of the fabric business.
All right. You got rid of all of it.
Pretty well.
Mhm.
A lot of my fabric, I go to Fabricland and I get the least amount that they'll allow you to buy. So I get, I think, 0.4 of a meter. And you can pick up some nice fabric there that way.
With small prints too.
Oh yeah, no, I
Last
go
time I
look.
was there, they had a lot. Yeah. Last time I was there, they had a ton of small prints. I was
Yeah.
really surprised, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
Okay,
kind of
good.
hard to find, but once I found a section, there was way more than I expected. Really nice for miniatures.
Did you go to
Also,
Fabricland, Nikki? Are you talking
Yeah.
about Fabricland? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, guys, don't ever forget quilt stores. They have a ton of small print fabric.
Mm.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
get
and if
fat
you buy
quarters and
fat
fat
quarters-
eighths, and
What did you say,
Mm.
Denise?
I said you can get fat quarters and fat eighths, and that's probably
What does that
20.
mean? This sounds like you're talking about drugs. What does that
No,
mean?
it's what it is they'll give you a quarter of a yard, but they don't cut it
Oh.
the long way. They'll
Yeah.
cut it, like they'll take a yard and cut it into 4.
Huh.
And so that way you've got more options of using it.
I didn't know that. That's so cool.
There's something I wanted to share with everybody. Tina, can you pin me again? When I was at the dollar store poking around and I found the felt, I also came across, it's called craft cord. So I thought, well, maybe I could do the piping out of it. As it turned out, it was too thick. But guess what I've got? I've got a whole roll of bunka.
Oh.
I took one end of it and I pulled it, and it unravels just like bunka. So I'm wondering, I've got this huge roll of white, and I'm going to try my felt pens on it and see if I can color it. But yeah, you just pull this end, and it unravels. And they had some ugly colors: white, beige, the darker navy blue. They didn't have nice colors in it, but they just called it craft cord.
So it gets thinner as you pull it?
Well, it's just like bunka. Just a second.
What's bunko? Should I?
Uh,
I know
Bunker is
what
a yarn
bunko
that when you
is.
pull it, it goes all curly. Like it's all,
Oh,
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I've
I'll
never
see if
heard
I
of that
can do
before.
it. So you get one end of it, and you pull,
The,
and so you get this
that's
type
so
of thing.
cool.
So you can use it as trim. Sometimes they put it on doll's hair, but it unravels this way. So, so for some of my
That is like
doll's hair,
bunker.
I actually iron this flat, and it sort of looks like wavy hair, and then you glue it on the doll's heads.
That would be considerably cheaper than bunko and more easy to find, correct?
and,
Exactly.
and
Except
gray
it's
hair
not-
is a little bit like that. Gray hair is a little bit stiff like that.
Well, then I'm going to be making a lot of white-haired dolls, unless I can find a I'm going to try the felt pens, and because who in the heck, you're not going to be handling this once
You
it's
can
on
even
something.
make white curly, but like a, afro hair for like just,
Yep, yep.
Is it,
No,
is it
because
try
you
alcohol.
cut this up into little pieces. It's like little curls, and then you glue it on the
Exactly,
doll's head,
exactly.
and it looks like just a curly
Is it a
head of hair.
polyester base, Marg, as opposed to like bunkas instead of silk, right?
Well,
like
I
what-
would think that it's probably polyester.
Will
but
it take
comes-
the felt pan?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
You
would
could
think-
try alcohol ink as well.
That's
Oh,
an
yeah.
idea.
that would
Yep,
work.
yep, that's an idea as well. I certainly wouldn't be coloring it and putting it on something that's going to be touched a lot, because I think there's a good chance the color will come off on your fingers. But
You could always hairspray it maybe a little bit after you color it, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
no, I'm
Just
going
to
to play
seal
with
it.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I'm going to play with it and see if not, I've got a great big white ball of craft yarn.
You never know what you're
Dollar
gonna need it
store.
for.
Never
what
know.
you'll need it for.
And I'm glad that it didn't cost me very much.
Which dollar store?
Dollarama.
Mind you, they're all a little bit different from store to store. They're a little
Yeah,
bit-
they are. They are. So
I went
Thank
on,
you, Mark.
Thank you.
I went on eBay and I found the mother load of bunka
Oh my.
wow.
for, I don't know, maybe $15 or something. I think it was something somebody had maybe at an estate or something, and they just want to get rid of it and I'm like, score.
Well, bunka's been hard to find, at least lots of colors over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
One of the places in Japan that used to make it apparently stopped making it. So no, that's great to see that much bunka that you got for $15.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say, you're talking about magazines and they're only selling them to the US. We routinely buy things out of the US, but shipping is so expensive up here that we just ship to a border outlet in Montana.
Mhm.
And about twice a year, we go down and pick up our stash. So if anybody really wanted some of those magazines, you could send them to the border in my name, and I can pick them up the next time I go down, which is actually going to be fairly soon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've got a daughter in Colorado and I've tried that, but by the time for her to send it from her place up to me, we're not saving any money at all.
No, but you
So
can
this
get
is-
the shipper,
Yeah,
rather than shipping it to your daughter, ship it to the border.
to
outlet.
the border.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So.
And
Probably.
you also save customs that way.
Not
No,
always.
Actually, no, you have to pay. There's no customs. It's just GST, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but customs you don't pay no matter what. If you can't pay customs within your same country, they never charge customs inside your own country.
No, but when we go pick up, there's no duty,
Yeah,
basically,
going across, yeah.
just GST. That's all we ever pay. You're not paying a customs broker. I think that's what.
Yeah,
you-
it's that broker fee. I think that's the worst part.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
I
other
ordered-
thing
I
is,
ordered furniture from one of the sites a couple of years ago, and the whole order came to about $48. And on the outside of the package, she put miniature furniture, and they charged me for real furniture.
Oh, no.
So I got charged 50 some dollars custom fees.
Oh, no.
And
Wow.
so I sent, when I picked it up at the post office, I said, what in the world? Like, I was shocked. And so she showed me where the form was, and I filled out the form and sent it away to them and said, this is ridiculous. This is miniature furniture. It's not real life furniture. And they refunded it. I was really surprised. So I got it back. but
Wow.
yeah, and I think it just depends on who you get, who happens to be handling your parcel.
Yeah.
The other thing
Very
is-
show and tell.
on the weekend, I was down in the States And I was at a thrift store and I found, oddly enough, 2 packs, Mark, of that beading stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this
Yeah.
looks like it
That's
could
right.
be useful. So I bought
Is
it.
what I'm
But
using is that pink one, pink and white. I use the
Yeah.
white cord. Yeah.
then
Oh,
you're
yeah. The
showing
same
your
color
stuff.
and everything.
I think
Yeah.
I have that.
Yeah. It says it's hemp cord. So it's got a stiffness to it that regular.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Sunny, did you say that you had some show and tell?
Yes, I have some chairs to show.
Ooh.
Or
Here, let me spotlight you. There you go.
Oh, no.
Oh, cute.
Wow.
Oh, that's neat fabric.
Gorgeous.
oh, that's beautiful.
Wow.
If you look, this back was all cut out of one piece. Can you see that? Look,
Oh,
look there.
okay.
Look at-
Yeah.
See?
Mhm. Yeah.
Nice.
And I just folded it there. And I cut a slit down as far as I thought I could. And then you could fold this up to any size you wanted.
Oh, that is really good.
And right here, the fabric is just pinched together on the other side with glue, and I just ran a felt pen there so you couldn't see the cardboard.
Right.
Because who's gonna look back there?
Right. Right.
And so you didn't have to make legs. This was a pattern I gave you, Marg, at the beginning, which
Oh,
was
that-
wrong somehow. Anyway, so if you upholster right to the floor, like you say,
Yeah.
you just see little beads. Okay, so there's that
Yeah.
one. Here's a chair. This is an artisan's kit, and I can't remember who makes those.
oh, that's cute.
Well,
So it's a
that-
block
That's
of
like a
wood.
little boudoir chair or something.
Yes, it's a whole
Yeah.
block of wood with a curved wooden back. So you could
Oh,
carve
okay.
that out of something. But again, no legs are needed, see?
Yeah.
But isn't it sweet?
Yeah.
That's really
There you
cool.
go. Okay. If you remember my workshops, let me back up. This is my toilet paper roll chair, see?
Yeah.
And so this is the rest of the toilet roll at the back. And I just flipped the fabric up so it didn't touch the floor. It's dirty in your seam when you have it touching the floor. So that's my toilet roll,
Oh my gosh.
toilet roll chair.
Very creative, yeah.
And here's the bigger one I made out of my friend's birthday
Oh.
card.
That is really cute.
That's
Look.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And I even put where she signed the card on the
Oh,
bottom.
nice.
See?
Oh, those would look so cute in a gazebo.
Wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here's the last one.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh.
That is really nice.
This was
Good
from
grief.
Lori's.
That is
We
really.
can't hear you speak.
Oh, sorry. This was from Lori's.
Your
Yeah,
sound is
you
going.
some-
You're missing your speaker somewhere.
Hmm.
Or
Blocking out your
you've
sound.
covered your speaker up. Because we could hear you, but it was muffled.
Okay, so what am
There, I can hear you.
Now we can hear you.
Oh, better?
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody's carved the bottom pieces of this chair.
Oh, okay.
And if you look, it's a piece of satin. No, what do we make wedding gowns out of?
Brocade.
Brocade. And it's quite thick.
Okay.
So if you look, it's quite clunky looking, right? And it's so
It's
delightful.
blocking
You're
your sound
covering
again,
up your
Sunny.
speaker again, Sunny.
Where is my speaker?
I don't know, but you're leaning into
You
it.
may be covered with your paper that you're holding in front of
Okay.
you.
Maybe I'm going too
Yeah,
close.
there you go.
But it's so cute. Look how they
It
just
is
folded
cute.
the fabric. It's
And
Very
that's
nice.
been carved.
I know.
Wow.
So it looks like there's some holes at the very front of the arms. Is that some jewels that you put on, or what is it?
They're brass
stubs.
pins.
Oh, brass pins. Oh, wow. Just to make it, give it a feature. Yeah.
But look how thick and kind of homemade looking it is.
Is it like a satin material that you made it with?
Yes, it's brocade.
Yeah. Okay, brocade. Okay. Very nice.
No,
And
that's
it's
nice.
Very fancy.
It
Fancy
says
smancy.
Tiny Yesterday Waller,
Love it.
31363.
Wow. Wow. That is
Very
neat.
nice. Very nice.
Anyway, that's it.
Beautiful.
Ah,
Good job.
Yeah.
It's exciting, isn't it?
yeah.
Okay, I've got a little bit of show and tell here. Okay, I've been experimenting with cabriole legs. And I have two varieties. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see these. Okay, you see that one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me put it up in front of a piece of paper. Oh dear, I don't have a piece of little white paper here. Okay, now that's quite a long one and would be suitable for something like a coffee table. And
Yeah.
you'll notice that they have a little square thing at the top. That is so you can put it inside. When you're making the base of your chair, there's some kind of echo going on.
Yeah.
When you put the base of your chair together, you're going to have a corner like that. And the stick part goes up inside that corner to give it a stable finish. So this one has got what's called a Lucan foot. See, it comes to kind of a point at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Now, this other one is a smaller one. This would be just the right height for a chair.
Mhm.
That's on white. Let me see. I'll get something that is yellow. See if that works better. Yeah,
Not really.
not really.
You
No,
can see-
but anyway, that's shorter and it's got the tip. It's got the standard Queen Anne foot. Oh, there against my hand. It's better.
Yeah. Now we
It's
can
got
see
the
it.
standard one. Now that is about an inch tall or just under an inch tall.
Mhm.
So I'm going to experiment for the show and sale with having a couple of different types of cabriole legs that you can then just paint and finish as a piece of wood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one. And finally, I cannot tell you how delighted I am to tell you this. Oh, come on, you stupid thing. I finished the large quarter scale dress sink.
Oh, neat. Oh, that's
That's
nice.
so cute.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
cute.
actually managed to create quarter scale
Basket.
baskets.
Nice.
So,
Good job.
and the stupid things keep falling out. So I'm just fed up with sinks. I don't ever want to see another sink again in my entire life. They will not be going on my Etsy store because the shipping is a problem because of the size of the sinks themselves, and it just wouldn't be worth it. So that's that done.
That's something you can
But
still
I-
use for like a workshop if you ever do a workshop on there, like, the ones you do when you travel places. You can.
I know I don't ever want to see another sink, Teresa. Did you
Oh,
understand
okay,
that?
okay.
I do not want to ever see another sink.
Well, then you won't be able to do dishes then.
No, but what I am playing around with is kitchenware. Let me see if I can find a few for you. I should have taken the spotlight off. Okay, can you see that? It's a picture.
Oh, that's nice. What scale, Tina?
This one is 1/12, okay?
Okay. Oh, that is nice.
Oh, very cute.
Cute.
And I've also done some really nice 1/12, if I can find them, cups and teapots, and I'm actually doing some quarter scale. There's the, oh no, those are the tankards. Yeah, it's hit and miss because I know things like how far off the floor a chair has to be. But things like coffee pots and pitchers and teapots, you pretty well have to print them and then say, is that the right size? And then you start playing around with it to get it the right size. So I'm trying to do everything in both 1 inch and 1/4 inch because often the first print is actually what I would call 1/24.
Oh,
So Lisa may get a windfall of all of my prototypes. I don't know. Although anybody doing Barbie, because I accidentally did a Barbie sized coffee pot. with a
Cheryl
little-
does, Barbie.
Yeah, maybe I'll give that to Cheryl. Okay, so that was all I had to say.
Can I
I've
just?
got some show and
I'd like
tell.
to mention
Oh,
something
sorry.
here first, quickly. I sent out a couple of emails today to the club about show and sale. So if they pertain to you, could you please make sure you read them and reply to me as soon as you can, because I need the information in order to continue to plan for our prizes, etc., for the show. So please read them and let me know what you. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, let's go make a chair. Bye.
Bye.
I have some show and tell. It's nothing I made though. It's something I've found. I was down in Spokane on the weekend and it went to a store called Harbor Freight. And I
Oh,
found
nice.
this. And this
Wow.
is a little tiny
Nice.
vise.
Hmm.
It suctions to a smooth surface and it suctions really well. It is movable
Nice.
in
Very
all
nice.
directions. It has soft jaws. So it's got the hard jaw, but it also has soft jaws. So if you're crunching up a piece of wood that you don't want divots in, you can use the soft jaws. And it is just amazing. It stands the width of my hand high,
Wow.
like
What's the make of it, dear?
length of my finger long. It has no make. And the
What's
lid-
What does it say on the label there? It doesn't say anything.
I actually have the box for it. Hold
Oh,
on.
okay.
It's Central Forge.
Oh, okay.
That's backwards, actually. But it says
I've heard
Central
of
Forge.
Harbor Freight.
Huh?
Yeah, I've heard of Harbor Freight. I guess the prices are supposed to be really good.
Yeah,
It
it's the US equivalent of Lee Valley. is
It
our-
was $19.
Wow.
99
Wow.
cents.
Really good buy.
And she said they had just got them in. So let me tell you,
Where did you buy it again?
it's a place called Harbor Freight
Harbor Freight. Okay.
in Spokane. Yeah.
They have a Harbor Freight in Bellingham and probably other areas in Washington, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. But I was pretty pooched when I found it.
I can
I
understand
would
that.
be too. No, that's a nice vice.
Well, part of the reason I was so pooched is I've been trying to make this little kit.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's a little Hoosier cabinet. But I went to put together a drawer and everything is so accurate that I didn't have a vise to squeeze the sides together when I put it together. And it's just like, 1/1000th of an inch off. And the drawers are too big, they won't slide.
Oh, cute.
And I was totally frustrated, so I abandoned it. But now I have my handy vise. I'll go back to it.
It's nice to be able to hold some things while you're working on them too.
Well, yeah, and to hold it tight while it's gluing. It's like,
Yeah.
and it spreads 2 3/4 inches wide. So it's got quite a good size opening on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware that you can also get these amazing gluing jigs. Oh, sorry
Somebody's
about the
cat has
noise.
the
I'm
same toy that my cat has. I know that sound.
yeah, I know I'm sitting in the garden. Sorry.
That's funny.
I don't know what your name is. Harry Lillo is probably not your name, right?
It's Rosalie.
Rose Lillo. Okay. So do you know about these metal gluing jigs that you can get with magnets for gluing things like that?
No.
So yeah, those are really many of us have them in different scales for different jobs, and they're really amazing. Like you use, it's like a metal. You can say it's a base, and then it has metal surface so that it's magnetic, and then it has a metal edge on 2 of the corners, and then you have these magnets that you push whatever you're gluing into place in that corner, and then you leave it there just to glue, and it holds it in place. I can send you a picture if you want.
Look,
I've got mine right up on the
There you go.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tina and
Oh,
Joanne are
okay.
showing theirs. Yeah.
okay, there's the 3 sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got one.
I
here.
always want to get one of those.
The
Yeah, those are
problem
good.
with these drawers is they had to be tight. They
Yeah.
had to be so tight, like squeezed tight.
The
Like
jig probably wouldn't give you enough. It wouldn't
It
push
wouldn't
hard
give
enough
you the-
to keep
yeah.
it together.
tight.
You need pressure from both sides,
Exactly.
which is
Yeah.
what your vise will
Clamp.
do.
A
Yeah,
gluing
yeah,
jig
like
is
a
good.
clamp.
A gluing jig is good for making sure your corners are square.
Yeah.
But if you want to get the tight fit, you've really got to clamp it.
Yeah. Well, I have these guys for making sure the corners are square.
Yeah.
They work pretty good. But yeah, anyhow, that's my show and tell.
Thank you.
Hey, guys, I'm going to go. My dog is starting to move around the kitchen, so I think she needs to go outside.
Can we see her?
There
we
she
see her?
is.
Smart.
Oh,
Got a
Aw.
spot like that.
Oh my
aw.
god. Oh my god.
Oh my
it's-
God.
What kind is she?
So cute.
She's a Shih
Adorable.
Tzu.
she's so
Okay.
adorable.
Yep, she's about 6 months old or 5.5 months old.
Wow.
She's lovely.
She's a little chick.
Adorable.
Okay, well, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Marg.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mark.
Mark.
That's awesome.
Guys,
Thank you.
see
Okay,
you
so,
later. Bye-bye.
so that brings us
Bye.
to the end of the workshop, and
Yeah.
next week we'll be doing sinks. So I think everybody except those 4 people, Denise, Lil, Teresa Hebert, and Cheryl, everybody else has got their kits. So I don't know if you're going to want to do it alongside me or whether you just want to watch it later or whatever. But anyway.
So
next
does
week
that mean
I'll
that my
see-
kid is at Mark's place?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Tina.
Okay, thanks.
What
Okay.
about, thanks for
So-
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Check emails, please.